Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. It's new build day today, and depending on where your territory is, if you're in the UK, this has been brought to you by Hachette Partworks. In the US, you can get this from Agora Models. We're going to start to build the alien Xenomorph. So we now get a chance to build Giga's alien, and as you can see just from this brochure here, it's 1.2 meters tall. That's got to be as tall as the Batinator there, who doesn't seem to be on at the moment. I'll have to turn that on afterwards. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the brochure. We're going to do the first pack together so I can show you what's all involved in that. Now, if you want to get this yourself, I have put the links in the video description. As I said, it is territory based. So if you're in the UK, you'll be heading to the Hachette Partworks site. If you're in the US, you'll be going to the Agora Models site. But let me show you the brochure and show you what we're building. So I'll give you a quick look at the brochure. It looks just like this. As you see, it's half scale, 1.2 meters tall. If I open this up, it just shows joint languages in this brochure of German and English, but you can see it's got amazing articulated model. The head turns towards the sound. The jaw opens and closes, light up skull, looking just like that. And on the other side here, we do have the German side showing what parts are coming in the next stage. That's the German, and you've got the English version just there. It looks like in pack 2 we are getting 8 stages by the look of it. Now if I show you the box it comes in, this is from Agora Models. This looks just like this, and they all come individually wrapped in these brown bags here. So as we work through them, they're all numbered, so we'll be able to see exactly where they are. Now, the only way to show you this poster is to actually just open it out like this. This is A0 size. Check that out. Absolutely ginormous poster, which I haven't got room for. But obviously, all the details, once again, that you've just seen are on the back there. But I love New Build Day. Once again, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link in the video description there. You can get this all the way from pack 1. But without further ado, now there's 4 stages in pack 1, and it's all going to start with stage 1. Where else would it start? And we're going to be doing the upper jaw. So as you can see, I'm going to lay out all of these pieces here, looking pretty good. Now, I've just laid out everything that you get in the first stage. You do also get a screwdriver, which is going to help out. That looks just like this as well. For this build as well, you are going to need glue. Now, the glue I use is from a range of stores in the UK, actually called The Range. It's called Glue It. It's really quick drying super glue, this is, so that's what I'm going to be using. So I'm just going to push everything to one side, and I am going to open up these screws. Now, these screws aren't labelled at all, but chances are the screws that come in the pack will be the screws that you use on this part of the model. And I'm going to be taking the head section looking like that. Looks like a seal, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to turn this upside down, and I'm going to be placing this jaw piece into place just inside this area here. Now, we do have a hole here, which is going to go over that lug just on this side. That will help line that up. And then at the same time, we can line up these back pieces here and here, all ready to screw in. And we're going to screw that in with 3 of these screws. So let's get these in. Now, we're going into plastic, so only do it tight to your hand. Don't over tighten them, otherwise you will strip that thread. So you don't really need to put that much pressure on. All you're trying to do is hold this piece onto the head section. So as soon as I feel too much torque, I stop. And I'll do the one at the front, just like this. And that's in place. You want to ensure that's flush all the way around there like that. Now this piece is the upper jaw, and it's got some holes in here which we're going to be putting these teeth into. Now each one of these teeth is metal, but it is stamped with a letter. So as you can see, this one is F, this one is A. So I'm going to try and show you which way round they go. If the teeth are this way round, you want to make sure that the letter is facing towards the outside. So as you can see, this is stamped with an A. It's facing towards the outside. That's going to go in there just like that. Now we're going to need to glue that into place. So what I'm going to do, because we're doing all the teeth, is I'm going to fill the cavities with the glue. Now normally I'll apply the glue with my little pin vise with just a normal dress pin stuck in it. But I do want to make sure this is a strong fit, so I am going to put this directly in here to make sure every surface is coated on these teeth. So I'll do this side and the front first, because what you don't want is glue to be going all over this model. So first tooth A is going in here. Perfect. The second tooth is B. Just looking where that one is. Got that here again. Make sure the letter is facing towards the outside. That's B. Then we've got C. Again, letter facing towards the outside. We've got the D, which is going at the front here. You don't want to see the bases of these, so you do want to push them down as much as you can get them. As you can see, that's how that's looking at the moment. Obviously, this is the top teeth, so it's going to be looking that way. And I'll just put some glue in the final holes here. Basically, we're just continuing the alphabet. So again, the letter's stamped on this side, so the letter's facing outwards on here. That's E. Then F. Make sure it goes all the way down. And finally, G is the last tooth going in. Now they are very sharp, but when they're all in, they should look like that. Now you can see why I use a fast setting glue. Now this section is going to be going into the top head section. It's going to be going into here just like that. So once again, I am going to be placing some glue into this area just here. Now, unlike normal models that I've done before, you will notice I'm going a little bit heavier on the glue on this. The reason for that is I don't want this coming out later in the build, because it's going to be a nightmare to try and fix. So I put some glue in there, and I want to push that as far down as I can get it and just hold that into place. And that is the first stage of this pack completed. In stage 2, another big pack this one, we're going to be doing the lower jaw. So I'll get all these parts out, and as you can see, this is what everything looks like here. Now the inner jaw is all metal. You notice we do have a spring and a metal rod there as well. We've got some screws. We've got the bottom bit of the mini jaw, as I call it. But these are all the parts in this stage. So the first thing I want is this part of the inner jaw looking like that. I want it round this way because I'm going to be putting this section here into the cavity that's going here. Now, if you notice, we do have a hole going through this section like that. So the way these connect is I'm going to take this part of the inner jaw, the metal rod, and then this outer section, and put this in just like this. So it's going in and then out like that. This will enable me to push this rod all the way through these parts. It's going to be a little bit fiddly to get in. You might need a little bit of percussive force with a hammer just to get that all the way through there. Perfect. And there you go, that's that jaw in place like that. Very good. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some oil just down the side there. And just give this a couple of bends to make sure that's easy to move like that. Perfect. Because this is eventually going to move. That's why it's on a pivot there. Now this is the top section of that jaw here. What we're going to do is I'm going to be putting a spring just over that cross section you can see on the inside. Push that in. So now that looks like that. And I'm going to be closing both of these together, which is perfect. So as you can see, this still operates, but now it is spring loaded. Now, something to mention, something I've just been playing with there with the oil. I just wanted to see how the oil looks on this metal here. And I think what I'm going to do is once the model's completed, I am probably going to be putting a gloss coat onto the whole alien model to give it that slimy look. But when that's spring loaded, it should look like that. Now I am going to put those together with 2 screws. They come in this pack. These are the silver ones. And I'm going into metal. So again, I'll put some oil just in this as well to make sure that goes all the way down there. 1. And 2. Now this whole section is going to be fitting into this retractable section. Now what it is, there's gears in here, but we haven't got to put the gears in. That's already been done for us in this whole piece like this. What I am interested in is just this bit just here. That's going to be going down the top of this inner jaw here so that you can see it comes out and in. Now this needs to fit flush in there, so you want to fit that as tight as you can get it into the top of this, like that. And I'll just keep that safe till next time. Now we've got the lower jaw part now, this massive section here, and then we've got the lower gums, if you like, which are eventually going to have teeth in, looking just like that. Now this, just like the top section, has got a little section there which is going to be pushed into there. Just doing a test fit. Always before you glue parts on this, because there is quite a lot of glue on this model, check that it fits okay. I'm pretty happy with that, so I will put some glue in that now. And I'm going to just push that in and give it time to set. So that's in like that. Now you'll notice we've got these 2 sections here. These are going to go onto the side of the jaw, but we don't glue them in because we are going to have to remove these later on. But what I'll do is I'll put them in to show you exactly as they're going to look. So if I have that side first, this is just going to go over there and it pushes into the lugs on the side. But again, don't glue them in. That's how it's going to look. I'll do the same on the other side. And there we go. That's how that's going to look. And that is the end of that stage. Now in stage 3, we're going to be doing the skull and the jawbone. And in this stage here, as you can see, we've got a motor. We've got, by the look of it, a test board. And we've got a connector for a 9-volt battery. And check out that top piece there of the alien skull. That's excellent. Okay, now once again, I'm going to be putting the teeth into this section here. Now just to confuse you, the last one had letters. These ones have got numbers. So I need tooth 7 first. And that's going to be going onto the back of this side here. Again with the number facing outwards. So I'll get some glue just into these holes. And I'll put the first one in. So that's number 7 just going in there. And then we just work around. So it's going to be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make sure they're sitting okay. And as you can see, they're all in there. Very sharp to say they're metal. Now you will notice I'll be taking this mandible cover here. That's going to go at the bottom of the jaw here. You probably will notice there's a little hole at the top. That's going to go into the hole on that mandible there. It's going to go round like this. And then these sections here are going into the holes that we can see each side here. It's going to take some stretching to get these around, but it will fit in just like that. I am going to glue these into place even though they are holding themselves. I can put that to one side because now I'm going to be mounting this motor to the side of the section that we had in the last stage. Now this motor is just going to be going, as you see, it has got a cross section at the top into here to make sure it fully engages. I'm going to hold that in with 2 of these small screws that I've got in this pack. There is 2 packs of screws, one with loads in, one with not many. It's the one with the not many that I need. And 2 of these are going to hold this motor into place. Now this whole section is going to be now fitting into this carriage, which looks just like that. So I'm going to be putting it in this way, making sure I don't trap the wire. And I want these back sections of the motor to fit into the cavity just there, like that. Now I'm going to hold that in with some of the screws from the larger bag here. Going into plastic, we need 4 screws for this, 2 at the back and 2 just at the front side of the motor. So as you can see, they're now held in with the 2 screws there, and the 2 screws you probably just can't see down the front. We've got one more panel to put on. That looks just like this. We want it this way round. That's just going to go over the screws on this side. And again, same screws to hold that all in. We need 4 of these. And there we go. That's all 4 screws in that whole section. So that's all one piece now. They don't want me to test this yet though. I'm eager to. I get to put that to one side because we are going to be taking this part of the skull. We're actually going to be applying this to the part that we've got here. So quite simply, we're going to take 2 of these sections and just put them together just like that. And again, using exactly the same screws that we just put the motors in with, I'm going to be screwing these skull parts together. So make sure it's flush on there, and as you can see, that's the full skull part in place. I get to turn this over now because we are going to mount this jaw piece that we've just created. Keeping the wire out the way, this is just going to go over the 4 lugs. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll put this into place over the top, just like that, and once again held in with 4 of those screws. You know what, I am dying to test this, but in this stage, and they don't let us test it, I'm hoping they will in stage 4. But as you can see, that's now in place, and it will hold its own from that way, looking like that. That's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 4, we're going to be doing the tibia, and I do believe we do get to check this retractable jaw. So, get all these parts out. Now, when these parts are metal, they are this sort of rubbery material, as you can see there, which should be easy to actually mould to how we want it. Just bear that in mind. What we are going to do first is we're going to be taking the magnets. We've got some magnets here, they come in this pack. So let's get these open first. Now I need to make sure that the polarity of the magnets is exactly the same when I put them in. That's what I need a Sharpie for. So what I'm going to do is put a dot just on the top of the first magnet, peel that off without wiping that Sharpie mark off, and then do the same with the next one. Sharpie mark on top, slide it off. Now you will notice I'm keeping these magnets away from the ones next to it. They're very strong magnets, so the last thing I want to do is stick them all together. God, you know what? I'd love to see a magnetic wave pattern to see how these are trying to interact with each other. So when I put these magnets, these are going into these cavities that we can see in this plastic section. One there, and on this plastic section here, one here and one here. So I'm going to drop some glue in that. When I put them in, I want to make sure the dot that you can see here is facing upwards. And I do want to make sure that these really set into place. So I'm going to put some glue into each of these points. Grab a magnet and put that in here. Unfortunately, you can't use metal to help put these in, so I have got some wood here just to help me make sure that they're sitting flat in there. And do the same on this piece here. So we should be able to see all the dots we've created facing upwards. I'm going to let that dry. What I am going to do is move these other magnets over here. Just keep them out the way of each other, because I am going to piece these 2 parts together. They're going to go together just like this there, and we have got a little adapter to go between them. As you can see, that pieces those together. I want to screw that in with some screws. They come in this pack. They look like that. Get that screwed in. Need 2 of these. Now while that's drying, I'm going to take this skin piece here, looking just like that, and in a similar way in these 4 holes just at this side, if I've got the curved side facing over here, I'm going to be putting the 4 magnets again with the dots facing up. I do find using my tweezers helps to actually pick these magnets up, and then I can use a bit of wood to help me just push them down. I've got a cotton bud here just to get off any excess glue. You don't really want glue on the magnet itself, but they're in perfectly. Then the next part would be to put this part over the top of this part here. I'm not going to do that yet because I want these magnets to actually dry into place first. I'll do that at the end. What I can do is take this metal part here, as you can see, and I do have a pipe that's going to be running down that. Now, as you can see, it has got its own little tabs in this, which are going to fit the slots in the towel here. And again, I am going to be putting some glue onto this. This time, I'm going to be putting some glue on the side of this part. Even though it does look like I'm putting a lot of glue on there, I really aren't. I'm not. I'm just making sure it's completely covered. So 1, 2, and get the last one in 3. Just hold that into place and make sure that fits perfectly in there. It's a great mix of materials. You've got this rubbery section here on the metal section. And I'm going to put that to one side to dry as well. Now we get to check out the electrics. Yay! Okay, what I'm going to do is take this head section, and I've got the lead for the motor here. Now that motor lead is going to be going into this side of the control board, making sure it's in the right way. Just plug that in. Then I've got this 9-volt battery plug, and I just so happen to have a 9-volt battery just here, which I'm going to plug into that adapter just like that. And the other side of this is going into the other side of the control board here. Now, when I press this button here, the jaw should come out. When I press this button here, it should go back in. I really hope this works, but here we go. Oh, excellent. And then back in. Look at that. That's brilliant. I love it. So, working electrics. I'm happy. I'm going to sit here being happy. I'll just disconnect the battery now. Now, when it comes to pulling these out, don't just pull the wires because you're going to have a bad time. Get yourself a flat-bladed screwdriver and just twist it like this. And then do the same all the way around. And you will notice it will just ping out. So, bringing this back over, that should have dried now. Basically, this is just going to be connecting to this. And as you can see, if you've done it right, you should be able to pick up the whole skin with the magnets without them coming on. That looks pretty cool. That's in place. That's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. And there you go. We've done quite a lot. I'm glad we got to test the electrics, but that's what the headpiece looking like. Quite big compared to me. As you can see, always match it up to my head. We've got the body piece with the magnets, which I'm just letting dry at the moment. The metal piece here. And obviously we've done this jaw piece as well. Now remember, this is available in different territories from different companies. So do check the video description. If you're in the UK, you want to go to the Hachette Partworks website. I'll put the link down here. If you're in the US, you can get this from Agora Models. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.